as much as I think she's a charlatan, I'm proud when I see Axe sitting down with Candace Owens.
Like who?
Because I don't think the average, the Breakfast Club's not doing that.
Like
they're shook.
Candace Owens is the least canceled person, one of the least canceled people in America.
Candace Owens would not be allowed to have a fair shake on any mainstream media outlet.
Okay.
She's canceled in that sense.
So, but this is why
they would never document her without on her.
This is what I'm talking about, right? When we take these terms and we completely de-intellectualize them. So you're talking about the fact that Candace Owens is a best-selling author. She has a wildly popular internet show.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about Candace Owens, who has no obstacle to being able to get her off, who's making millions of dollars, and then you're going to tell me she's canceled. Like, so when
almost no mainstream left-leaning media publication would ever
but when you
give her a fair shake.
When you're talking about now who's talking about mental gymnastics? You're talking about one specific portion of the media. Candace Owens can go on.
Yeah, the mainstream media,
like
the whole media.
Is Fox News mainstream media?
Yeah, for sure.
And so she's on there all the time.
Right.
So what I'm telling you right now is that, like, even the whole cancel culture thing, are black people black people good with silencing people? No, they're not, because we've been silenced too much. I'm not talking about silencing Richard Spencer. That's not what I said. What I said was, if you are going to have the conversation with him, interrogate what has gone on.
Right,
with
and
him.
I've always said that I thought that was a fair
right.
point.
So I'm not saying don't silence him. I'm saying for me right now, I wouldn't do it. I'm not saying that no one should do it. When you told me that you wanted me to do the interview with Richard Spencer, I didn't tell you not to do it. I told you I wasn't going to do it. Right. So I'm gonna say, hey, Adam, I really don't think you should do that. I don't with you if you don't. I never said that. I said
the reason
I'm
why
not
you
going to
shouldn't have done that conversation is the same reason why Chris Brown should not have boxed Soldier Boy.
What the fuck?
Just too much to lose.
Oh, Jesus.
Because if Richard wins, then you're fucked.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying.
I don't think of these conversations. You guys.
But there will be a winner and a loser, right?
Like you.
Quite often.
You guys are so. You got your head so far up your asses. Like, it's like, I don't think of these conversations in terms of winners and losers.
But there probably would have been a winner and a loser,
I think about how productive they are. I don't think about these conversations.
You really don't think you and Richard Spencer would have had a productive conversation?
No, I don't. Because I personally don't think that he wants to have the conversation that I want to have.
Do you think he was intellectually dishonest in that Destiny conversation? I felt he was very forthcoming.
I think that in the conversation, I could tell that he's the same guy.
Really?
And so for me...
You don't think people can change?
Of course they can.
They just have to complete the Van Lathan obstacle course?
It's not the Van Lathan. that would be so funny. Think about if there was a Van Lathan obstacle course.
I'm picturing it in my head right now.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there's some porn in there. There's brazzers. There's all. But no, I'm just saying for me personally, and it's a thing. So like with Richard Spencer, I don't think that I could have a conversation without litigating that with him. It's fine. But like in terms of winners and losers in this stuff, look, all of you guys are so successful. I enjoy watching it. I really do. Like, all of you guys are so successful. All of this going back and forth, the beefing, all of that stuff, all of this winners, losers, I'm going to body you, I'm going to body this person. All of that's cool, right? That's fine. And there's a place for that. And there's always been. If there was William F. Buckley and Gore Vidal, like going all the way back, if it was Noam Chomsky and William F. Buckley on firing line, Frost and Nixon, even though that was an interview, it's more like a debate. When Minister Farrakhan would show up on Donahue, there's always been these things that were somewhat contentious to where people want to like extract a winner out of it, right? To me, where I'm at right now, like I've done that before. And the conversations that I want to have, the conversations have to be productive. Now, in those conversations, there might be disagreements, but I want to translate culture to people so they have a better understanding of their world. This is the thing with me. I'm old enough to know now that I am not going to change the world. I'm not, right? Like,
oh, you could change it, right?
Right. I'm old enough to understand now that I'm probably not going to
change it in its entirety.
Right. But I do want to make sense of it. I want to understand, and I want my audience to understand. I want to have Vivek Ramaswamy on Higher Learning, not to beat Vivek Ramaswamy.
I know why. You want to ask him about his Eminem performance from the other day.
Come on, bro. Come on, man. If we could agree with one thing, dog, you can't. If we could agree about one thing, bro. But I just.
But the best tweet about that was somebody quoted it and said, "You were lied to in school when they told you that being cool didn't matter." Because this is a clear-cut example of where his campaign is certainly going to take some damage as a result of the fact that he is fundamentally uncool enough to have taken the stage and performed that song.
But think about him now. Let's take him for example. I'm actually fascinated with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that all of these anti-woke people that run on that type of thing, and, you know, Vivek Ramaswamy said that Juneteenth is a useless holiday. He wants to raise the voting age to 25. He wants there to be a civil service exam in order to even have the right to vote, or you have to go to the military to vote. He has a very interesting way to deal with Vladimir Putin in terms of foreign policy and to deter Putin from that. He wants out of Ukraine right away. I'm not in any way dedicated to sending more money to Ukraine, or certainly not to putting troops on the ground in Ukraine. But he has an interesting way of positioning the U.S. in terms of foreign policy as it relates to China and Russia, right? All of these things I disagree with. The thing that is fascinating to me is that he's good, and you can't deny that.
He's a good speaker.
He is a good speaker. He knows his messaging. He is on top of the person that he needs to be when he's inside of a room in order to be the most effective communicator that he needs to be.
All I had to do was hear him talk about January 6th to make me realize that I do not take him seriously.
He's not serious. He's not a serious candidate, but he has been able to do something, in my opinion, that is pretty remarkable, which is make people look past policies that they obviously disagree with. Like, you're not going to be able to move the voting age to 25 in America. Right. He says he's going to fire something like 90% of, he's going to fire all the government employees. It's like 17 to 20 million jobs or something like that.
He's just saying shit.
Like, he's just, you know what I mean? But they're taking him seriously. So there's something there that I want to talk to for myself, and I want my audience to hear it. And I want to see if there's something that either I'm missing or something that's to be gained. But it's not to prove that I'm smarter than him. It's not to prove that to anyone that I am better or that I'm more well-read. The majority of people that I want to interview are smarter than me. They're better at the thing that they do than me. If I talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson, if I talk to Kip Thorne, if I talk to any of these people, when I bring on experts on higher learning, those people are almost always more intelligent than me. Because the conversation, and it doesn't mean that we always agree, and that also doesn't mean that I don't sometimes push them in ways that they might have not seen before. But what it does mean, though, is that the conversation is productive for the both of us. And not everybody has to be on that. And by the way, like, when I say all of that, it sounds lofty and all holier than thou and the bullshit. I watch a lot of No Jumper, because sometimes I too just want to hear somebody talk their motherfucking shit. But what I'm saying is, when I'm in a conversation with someone, it's not about winning. It's just not about winning. It's not about proving that my way is the right way, because when we're talking about even the average black person, it's 40 million black people here. I can't speak for the average black person any more than you can.
Well, you could imagine what an average might be like, right?
I can imagine
everyone you've ever met in your entire life.
I can speak about black people from Gardere Lane and Baton Rouge, South Baton Rouge, and other places that I've been, places around here. But I'm not going to tell you right now what a nigga from Seattle wants in his life. But what I can say, though, just on the average, if we're talking about 40 million black people,
they don't know who Richard Spencer is.
They don't fucking care about No Jumper. They might not know who Richard Spencer is either.
Yeah, no, definitely.